So I have a lot of friends that are getting back into Clash of Clans after all these years and wondering what all these new heroes are, what these new defenses are, what do I do against them, like how do I counter them, what's the best thing to do all the old strategies still work from Town Hall in 10 days? And so I just want to make a quick video explaining one of my favorite attacks, the Blizzard into Lalo, because I think it's so effective at every Town Hall past Town Hall 11, because that's when you can use the Siege Machine. Because it's so simple, but it does a lot of damage, it's very lethal, and if you pull it off right, you can 3-star almost any base. So we're going to start breaking down the Blizzard. The Blizzard is a super wizard blimp, and it can also be super archers or Yeti, whatever. It just means you're putting all these troops into a blimp and you're going to make it sail into the center-ish of your enemy's base because it's going to take out either the Town Hall or a bunch of defenses or whatever. And the reason why it's so valuable is because it only requires your siege machine and your clan castle troops, and so the rest of your army is free to be whatever it wants along with your heroes. So you're looking for three main things when you do a Blizzard, which is to pull the enemy clan castle troops, to form the funnel for your army, and to take out a tier 1 defense. So we're going to break this down one by one. The clan castle troops from the enemy side is really important that you deal with those efficiently, because with troops like ice golems that'll cause you to time fail if you take too long killing them, or troops like headhunters that can kill a queen charge, or whatever troops in there that's going to break down your army, it's going to cause you a lot of trouble if you don't attack it with efficiency, because if you attack them while going in for these defenses out here, they're going to distract your troops and either deal damage to them to kill them, or they're going to distract them to take out the defenses. And so you're going to be taking a lot of damage for the troops unless you invest a lot into it, which is just not ideal. And so that's reason number one. Reason number two, you take out a tier 1 defense. Tier 1 defenses are just like Inferno Towers, Eagle Artillery, Town Hall, Scatter Shots. Basically the best defenses, even the Monolith, because it's just, the best defenses. Now the third thing is the most important one, which is to form the funnel for your army. And so why this is important is because if you can control your pathing of your troops and you can guess where they're going, you can maximize the value of your spells, and you can also prevent overspread damage, which basically just means that if a defense is attacking something from your army, something is about to attack that defense right back. Because, if you're sending in a troop that's like right here, you've already messed up, because there's going to be attacking from the scatter shot, this air defense possibly, these 2 archer towers. And so forming funnels is really important in this game because it preserves the life pool of your armies. So Nebrax is going to accomplish all of these by attacking the Town Hall specifically. And the reason why attacking the Town Hall is really good in a Lalo is because the Town Hall is going to drop a poison bomb at 14 and higher, or even just a regular bomb at 13. And that's really lethal to your balloons because they don't have a lot of health. And so unless you have a warner ability to cover it, it's going to just be really bad for your troops to get out of it, because it also drops the poison, which slows them down. And it's just not going to be a good time for your balloons. But if you see with this base here, if you'd invest the warden ability right here next to Town Hall, you don't have it for the 3 Infernos over here and the Eagle and the Monolith. And so he's decided to go with the Blizzard here, which is a really good call by Nebrax. And so he's going to send in this blimp with the rocket balloon in front to cover for, defenses, and also check for seeking air mines, because that could cause this blimp to drop its troops early, which is, you're not going to want to do that. So he's going to send it in. The rocket balloon goes in, the blimp sails in, and whenever it lands when Town Hall, you never want it to land on the Town Hall specifically, so you see he drops it a little early. And the reason for this is because the Town Hall, like its bomb that was mentioned earlier, that's going to kill your wizards if it goes down and your wizards are too close to it. So he's going to drop it just a little bit to the side because the bomb is going to kill them. But also, the invisibility spell will also make buildings invisible, which means if you're too close to the Town Hall and the invisibility is going to cover their wizards, it may clip the Town Hall, which means that it's not going to... the wizards won't be able to see the Town Hall, they won't be able to destroy it, unless you get some really lucky chains, but just avoid that. And so it's 2 reasons why he lands to the outside. It's because he wants to take out Town Hall without the bomb blowing up on him, and so that the Town Hall does not go invisible. So now when doing this, you're going to want to have a lot of spacer troops in your blimp, because troops like the Barbarian and anything that's lower housing space in your wizard will come out first. You can find a table online that shows which come out first. And just generally speaking, the less housing space the troop has, the earlier it's going to come out. So what this does is that any traps that are going to be where your blimp lands, such as spring traps or giant bombs, which could kill your wizards, the spacer troops will come out first. They'll trigger the traps, they'll blow up, and then your wizards will come out later, avoiding those traps, which could save your wizards from, death. And so you can see here, he actually lands on a giant bomb, I think, right here, which goes off. And so because he had a goblin or whatever in front of the wizards, they didn't kill the super wizards. And so he's going to place on the invisibilities methodically, and he's going to place on the rage spell after the spacer troops go out, because since the wizards aren't coming out immediately, if you place on the rage spell a little early, you're just going to waste some time afterwards, because the wizards aren't attacking things yet. So he waits a little bit for the rage spell. The invisibility should go down immediately, because if you don't put the invisibility down and the spacer troops, even if they trigger the scatter shot, the scatter shot has travel time. So if it, let's say it targets a goblin that's here, but the goblin dies and the thing's still flying, the wizards will pop out into the same spot, and the scatter shot that's in travel time while the goblin was there will still land, and it may kill your super wizards. So the invisibility is the very first thing you have to get down. Over clones, over rages, put down invisibility, you'll be fine. So as you can see, he achieved goal number 1, which is literally the clan castle troops, because the blimp sailed in was in its range. But the good thing is, since the troops you're putting down are invisible, your wizards are not under any threat by these clan castle troops, even when they get triggered. So he's going to put down these invisibilities down. They're going to take out the town hall, because you can see the expo he landed on actually became invisible because that's where his troops landed. But again, it wasn't as important as the town hall, so he just didn't care about it. Town hall goes down. The bomb is going to blow up, you're going to notice, and it's not going to kill those wizards because they're not close to it. If you notice here, there's going to be a giant bomb that goes off here, which goes to show you that at the pro level, or even not even pro levels, at just higher levels, people are going to expect your entries, and that's why they build these bases that could be trapped up against this. Which is why if you're not careful with your spacer troops, or if you're just not thinking correctly with any tips I just mentioned, people will be there to punish you. Because if these wizards died to this giant bomb originally without the spacer troops, you just lost your siege machine, your clan castle troops, and you didn't get the clan castle pull, the town hall down, or the funnel formed, which means you have to invest your regular army, which you may not have built to do so, and it's going to be detrimental to your attack and may cause you to fail, like your 3-star, or even worse than that. Now, luckily for Nebrox, none of this happens. Everything goes smoothly. He actually keeps some invisibilities because he realizes that this apartment is not that valuable in terms of these tier 1 defenses that are going to move over here. So he saves an invisibility and just lets them die to this king. Now, if you notice, now with the clan castle troops being pulled, he can use his queen that he's going to place down here against all this trash buildings of the archer tower that isn't going to be a lot of damage threats, and take out the CC in relative peace or not danger, which is going to minimize the overspread damage like we talked about earlier. But since we also formed this funnel, he actually gets unlucky here. Spoiler alert, this barbarian king is going to pull the queen to go south. That's just unlucky, but he was planning to see, you can see his clan castle troops are getting pulled right here. He puts the queen, he's going to put the king down like right now. Whatever, he's going to put the king down right there. And so they're going to go north, they're going to take this scatter shot out, and they're going to condense in this northern corner. And so once you realize is that once this compartment is cleared up by his heroes, he's going to have this thin lane of defenses that we were talking about earlier, which is going to minimize the overspread damage because all of his troops will be funneling this exact path-ish, and he's going to be able to drop down the spells where the troops are going to go because there isn't all this free space that's going to be drawing his army away from where they're going, because you want to make a lot of negative space so it's really obvious where your pathing is going for the aforementioned spells and overspread damage. And so you can see that he's going to do that quite nicely once he gets down these ice golems, which I was talking about earlier. Imagine you were dealing with these ice golems and how much time they take next to all these defenses. It's just going to be bad. So he's going to take out the clan castle troops here. He's going to finish all of this trash. He's going to plan to go into the scatter shot. Again, it's just unlucky that this king, because it walks in a circle. If it was here when his heroes go up here, the king wouldn't have pulled the queen's aggro. But once again, it's just going to happen. You're going to have to learn how to adapt because that happens all the time in this game, just being able to adapt to whatever happens. So you can see the queen just going to go south because of this king. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that his king is going to take out a scatter shot. It's going to clear his entire compartment. And so you can see that he starts his Lalo up in the north. And so with this king finishing this compartment, you can you can see the lane-ish that's going to be coming down with this Lalo after he takes out some of these outside defenses with just remainder balloons he has. And so what this allows for is that the warden, his ability and his just passive aura is going to be covering as many balloons as possible, which is going to give them an obscene amount of extra health. Because if you understand what the warden aura is it gives a certain percentage of the troops' health that are in it up to a maximum cap, and the maximum cap benefits medium-sized troops like the wizard, the balloon, or the healer the most, because it's I want to say like a third of their health. But so troops like the archer that get a third of their health is going to be like an extra, not even archer shot from an archer tower. But troops like the golem or the lava hound, they already have so much health anyway, it doesn't really matter. So troops like the balloon, where they benefit from having not a lot of housing space, and all those percentages of adding their health, they're going to increase quite nicely with the aura boost. And so you can see he's able to predict where the balloons are going to go, and this lava hound is going to sail over here. He's going to put down the balloons on the outside, and you can see how thin he's making this funnel because he has attacked this triple threat, actually quadruple threat, thanks to this Eagle Artillery and the Rage Tower going off. And so, as these balloons are coming down in here, he can use his haste spell, he uses his Warden ability, I think, maybe not, doesn't matter. He uses his freeze down here for the Eagle and the Monolith. And so you can see he's methodically placing these spells and funneling all the balloons toward this scary center by clearing out this trash down here, because he can maximize his spell usage along with overspread damage, as all these balloons that are traveling right here, if you want to go back, every time a defense starts picking at them, they either get a free support or a troop, like another balloon, is going to come in and start attacking it. So there isn't just unwasted damage going on to his troops right here. So if you want to closely pay attention, as soon as I want to say the Wizard Tower starts attacking these balloons, he's going to put down the Royal Champion to go in with the Diggy Stun to go in there. And as soon as the Monolith starts targeting his balloons, he's going to put down that freeze along right there. You saw he's going to freeze it again, even though the balloons aren't really that susceptible to the Monolith. He's going to swarm in all the balloons on the single Inferno. The last thing is his Scatter Shot. So since he has his Warden ability that he didn't use, I don't know if there's an Axe or not, he's going to plop the haste spell into the Warden ability, because he knows, because of this funnel that he formed on either left and right side, he knows that the balloons are going to funnel exactly towards this deadly Scatter Shot because of the negative space around the left and right side. So they have really nowhere else to go but towards where he's going. And because he can predict that, he can drop his spells and press his Warden ability rather early compared to where the Scatter Shot is, because he can predict where the troops are going to go because of how great he made his funnel. And I forgot to mention earlier, back here at the Warden ability, actually a little later, he times the Headhunters crossing under it. That's actually really important to Lalo. Don't forget about that. You want to time your Warden ability often with the Headhunters underneath it, so you can take out the Archer Queen or the Royal Champion, because balloons and Lava Hounds are not going to be able to attack the heroes until they become Lava Pups, which they don't do that much damage. But either way, he's going to get down the Archer Queen with his Headhunters. You can see all these traps are going off into the Scattershot apartment, but because he was able to predict the pathing, I know I say it all the time because that is so important, is because he funneled left and right side, he goes down this one thin lane of defenses that every time a defense attacks a troop in his army, it's getting attacked right back, or is about to, or is being tanked for, or gets a spell support. And he's able to predict the pathing with the haste and time his Warden ability to trigger all these traps under the ability, first of all, and then go into the Scatter Shot minimum range. And then from there on, it's just cleanup. And then you can see why I like this attack so much, because if you really think about it, there's only 3 phases to this attack, which is going to be the Blizzard, of course, and then the heroes for maybe like 20 seconds when you just form the funnel, and then just the main Lalo going down the thin lane of defenses you've created by funneling the heroes and the blimp. And so all you have left is cleanup. Very well done by Nebrax. If you want to watch it all again in real time, because I know I just broke this down in the past 10 minutes, but this all goes down in less than 3 minutes. And so you have to be on your feet when it comes to any things that happen, like this queen walking on him, to adapt your strategy, and you have to make sure everything is going to go according to plan. And so honestly, the best thing you can do is just practice. Friendly challenges are so helpful because, one, you can attack as many times as you want and not have to wait for armies to be trained, and 2, you can practice like shuffling through the Clash of Clans like dashboard, because it's kind of weird where you can't see your entire dashboard at the same time, which I think should be changed, but whatever. You can practice this a lot. I think you should, because this attack is so easy to pull off once you get used to it. And again, past Townhall 11, when you get on with that Siege Machine, everything is just going to be the same thing, because every core component of this attack will not change except for, I guess, having a Royal Champion. But again, when you don't have the Royal Champion, the bases you're attacking are going to be easier. So we're going to watch this thing one more time in real time so you can see how it all goes down. And I want you to try your best to follow with what I just said. If you want, you can go back to the video. Just do your best to follow what's going on. So I'm going to have subtitles in the YouTube video that's going to be explaining what's going on. So if you want to try your best to do it without them, you can turn the subtitles off. But if you want some help because you need to know what's going on again, you can just turn them back on. This video is mainly for Audie because he wanted to know how to attack at a higher level, and I'm a huge Clash of Clans nerd. So here's this video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys do well in your future Blizzard into Lalo attacks.